Well, it's that time of year again where the voting for the third annual Rubber Duckies Awards, put on for us by the Cinema Squad, has commenced. So what I'm going to do today is the same thing that I did the last time the awards happened. For the first time, I was a presenter last year for the second annual Rubber Ducky Awards. I presented Best Supporting Actress, and this year I will be presenting the award for Best Actor. So I'm going to go through the different categories that are open for voting and let you guys know the ones that I voted on. The Rubber Duckies Award ceremony will be on Sunday, February 25th. I forgot what time, but I think I blocked it off in my calendar for 3 in the afternoon. I believe that's what it was last year, but I'm not 100%. So maybe I'll update the video or something with like a little text. All right, so let's go ahead and proceed. The first category, I'm just going to scroll through these because there's several of them. For the best popcorn flick, we have Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, John Wick Chapter 4, and Transformers: Rise of the Beast. And I voted for Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves because I was so pleasantly surprised by this film that it really was a standout for me. I think it ended up being in my honorable mentions for favorite movies of 2023, so I felt like it deserved the win in this category. For me anyway. We'll see what happens on the 25th, won't we? Next one, biggest surprise, Blackberry, Godzilla Minus One, Gran Turismo, Knock at the Cabin, and Plane. I'm going to go ahead and add the caveat, which I forgot to do at the very beginning, was that I have not seen all of these movies. Like up for the best popcorn flick, I have not seen Hunger Games. So there you go. With this one, I haven't seen Blackberry. I've seen all the others. I enjoyed all the others, but for me, the biggest surprise of 2023 was Godzilla Minus One. You guys, I was not expecting how much I was going to love that movie, and it was fantastic. I hope it gets some love at the Oscars this year. As much as I don't care about those stupid awards ceremonies, I do like it when a film I appreciate greatly ends up getting some official recognition in one way or another. I don't know. I shouldn't care, but I'm happy for the filmmakers when what I feel is an honest to goodness awesome film gets noticed. Best Hidden Gem. I have not seen all of these. I haven't seen A Good Person. I haven't seen Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I have not seen Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. I didn't even know that. I have no idea. And I haven't seen How to Have Sex, but I have seen They Clone Tyrone, so that's the one I picked. And I genuinely did enjoy They Clone Tyrone, so I feel like that was kind of something that slipped under the radar a bit. Those dogs, I swear. Okay, best horror film. Lord, they're going to come back in here and they're going to want me to pick them up. All right, best horror film. Evil Dead Rise, Scream 6, Talk to Me, Thanksgiving, and When Evil Lurks. I have seen all of these, and some I liked more than others. As you guys can tell, I like Talk to Me. That movie was my favorite horror movie of 2023. I did enjoy When Evil Lurks, but I felt like there were some shaky moments with the writing at the end that kind of held it back from taking top spot for me as far as horror movies go. I liked Thanksgiving as well, but it had too much wrong with it in general, and especially at the end. Scream 6 was it was okay. I didn't hate it. It was all right. Evil Dead Rise was okay. I didn't hate that either, but I'm not a huge fan of the Evil Dead movies, so Talk to Me was the best, in my opinion. Best Animated. I haven't seen all of these either. Elemental, Nimona, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Suzume, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I picked Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, Suzume actually did bring me to tears at one point in the film, but in general, my appreciation level overall leans more towards Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This movie did end up in my top 10 favorites for 2023. Best Screenplay. American Fiction, Godzilla Minus One, The Holdovers, May, December, and Oppenheimer. As of the filming of this, which is the 29th of January, I had to check the date, I have seen all of these movies. I genuinely adore The Holdovers. I like that movie a lot. But at the time that I voted for this, and I can revise my votes, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stick with American Fiction because this movie, I feel, greatly deserves the appreciation that it's getting. And so I had to go with that one on this. Okay, Best Director. Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. J.A. Bayona for Society of the Snow, Joaquim dos Santos, Kemp Powers, Justin K. Thompson for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Wow, I'd forgotten there were so many directors on that one. Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Takashi Yamazaki for Godzilla Minus One. I ended up choosing Bayona for Society of the Snow. Godzilla Minus One, it was going to be close between Society of the Snow and Godzilla Minus One, honestly. But the reason that I picked Society of the Snow is just because the story itself was so intense and so impactful. And the way they filmed this movie, the stuff I found out about it after I watched it and did a review for it on this channel, was really interesting and to me just so wonderful how they filmed this thing and the way they were able to capture such a tragic tale and just show it to us in this rawness and yet at the same time this beauty. It's a weird sort of odd mixture between those two things, but I just felt like the direction of that movie was wonderful. Best Supporting TV Performance. You guys, of all of these, okay, I've seen parts of two of these. So Ayo Edebiri, probably said that completely wrong, The Bear. Carla Gugino for The Fall of the House of Usher, which I'm still watching, by the way. I'm not finished with that. Eben Moss Bacharach, said that wrong, The Bear. James Marsden for Jury Duty, and Ray Stevenson for Ahsoka. I've seen clips of Jury Duty, which is kind of an interesting concept. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's funny because Latino Slant had a live stream today where he was interviewing one of the actors on that show. And basically Jury Duty was about this setup where everybody involved was an actor, I think, if I understand correctly, except for one guy that thought he was in a real jury watching a real trial. And it's kind of like, think of it as almost like a candid camera. And so it's kind of interesting. Some parts were pretty funny, but I ended up voting for Carla Gugino because, if I'm saying her name correctly, whatever. Carla's good in pretty much everything, and because this is the one thing that I have seen the most of, I had to go ahead and vote for that. Best Leading TV Performance, another category that I haven't seen any of these. So let's just go down from the beginning. Jeremy Allen White for The Bear, Natasha Lyonne for Poker Face, Pedro Pascal, The Last of Us, Stephen Yeun, Beef, and Tom Hiddleston, Loki. I did not watch Loki season 2, and Loki season 1 annoyed me and I stopped watching it. I have not seen Beef, but I've heard nothing but great things about it, and because there's no way for me to opt out of any category, especially if I haven't seen something, I just went ahead and picked him. I'm just being upfront with you guys about that. Okay, Best Television Series. Ahsoka, The Bear, Beef, Daisy Jones and the Six, The Fall of the House of Usher. Ooh, there's a lot of entries in here. Heartstopper, The Last of Us, Loki, Only Murders in the Building, and Scavenger's Reign. I have only been watching one out of all of these, The Fall of the House of Usher, so that's why I picked that one. Best Supporting Actress. Claire Foy, Divine Joy Randolph. Oh, Claire Foy, sorry, for All of Us Strangers. Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. Julianne Moore for May December. Mia Goth for Infinity Pool. And Teyonah Parris for They Cloned Tyrone. I actually do think I am going to adjust my vote because as of the filming of this, I have since seen The Holdovers. I have not seen Infinity Pool. I have not seen All of Us Strangers. I've seen May December. Julianne Moore was okay. I didn't think she was super fantastic. She was just all right. And I really, really enjoyed Teyonah Parris in They Cloned Tyrone. She was very funny. She was really good in here. But you guys, I'm going to have to change my vote and cast it for Divine Joy Randolph. I've seen The Holdovers and she was really, really good in this movie. Her performance was quite touching. There were moments where I got a bit weepy during some parts because just the grief that her character felt because of the loss of her son. So I'm going to unselect. Sorry, Teyonah, you were good. Okay, Best Supporting Actor. Charles Melton, Dominique Seza. Ooh, I might have to adjust something else. Okay, Enzo, I'm not even going to try to say his last name, y'all. Dude who played in Society of the Snow. Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer and Ryan Gosling for Barbie. I have not seen Barbie, but I have seen all of the others. This is tough because I really loved Dominique's performance in The Holdovers. I thought he was very good. Charles Melton also was very good. I loved Enzo's performance as well in Society of the Snow. Robert Downey was great. I ended up choosing initially Charles Melton just because of, well, his performance was good. And the character that he was playing, just the whole situation, the whole disturbing everything about this movie. I felt like he did a really good job. Then I see The Holdovers. Oh, I'm torn with the idea of changing my vote to Dominic. I think for now I'm going to keep it with Charles because I was impressed. I was impressed with everybody except for Ryan because I never saw that. But Charles is probably going to edge it out for me. We'll see. For now, I'm going to keep it that way. Okay, next category, Best Leading Actress. Carey Mulligan for Maestro, Emma Stone for Poor Things, Margot Robbie for Barbie, Portman for May December, and Teyana Taylor for 1001. I haven't seen 1001, I haven't seen Barbie, I haven't seen Poor Things. I have zero desire to watch Poor Things ever, or Barbie. I did see May December. I can't with Natalie Portman. She was okay in there, I just can't with Natalie Portman. So the little that I saw of Maestro, I had to quit about 30 minutes in because it was boring me. I just couldn't. It was so boring. But Carey Mulligan was very good in there. So that's why I went ahead and cast my vote for her. Best Leading Actor. Barry Keoghan? I don't know. I'm not sure. I want to say Keegan, then I want to say Keoghan. I don't know. Barry from Saltburn, that ridiculous movie. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Ryan Soke, okay, whatever. The dude in Godzilla -1, and Zac Efron in The Iron Claw. I have not seen The Iron Claw. I feel like I kind of have to gird my heart strings before I watch that. I've heard some things about it. Godzilla -1, that actor was really good. Cillian was good. Barry was good. Now I'm going to give you guys some disclosure here. When I cast my vote for this, as I've already mentioned before, I had not seen The Holdovers. But I knew Paul was going to be good, and I was planning to see it. And as of now, I have seen it, and so my vote stands. I'm not going to change my vote. I'm going to keep it at Paul. I think if he wins, it's well-deserved. He was very good in that movie. Best Acting Ensemble. Barbie, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Oppenheimer, Saltburn, and Society of the Snow. All of these had a great ensemble cast, but you know, in my opinion, as mixed as I felt about Oppenheimer, the cast in here was tremendous. There were so many people in here, so many recognizable faces, and I felt like Nolan... Excuse the background noise. I felt like Nolan, as irritated as I was at him with the way he directed Oppenheimer, I felt like the cast, the ensemble cast of that movie was excellent. So that's always been in the back of my mind, my pick for 2023 when it comes to ensemble cast. Best sex scene. The only one of these that I have seen was Saltburn. So the nominees were For Beau is Afraid, Infinity Pool, another Infinity Pool. Okay, there were multiple scenes in that movie. Joyride and Saltburn. There was no way in the world I was going to vote for the scene in Saltburn because that was one of the most ridiculous scenes. I mean, I disliked this movie. There was a lot of unnecessary imagery in here and scenes. In this particular scene, it was bad enough the first time I saw it. Then, well, the first and only time I saw it. And then I found out that that was his idea, the actor's idea. This makes me question him. This makes me wonder about him. There's no way I would vote for that. It was so stupid. I haven't seen Joyride. There's no way for me to opt out of voting for a category if I haven't seen it. To the Cinema Squad, for the 4th annual, could you please put like a little option there, like NA, haven't seen or something? Because I don't generally like voting on things I haven't seen. I say this after I have confessed to the fact that I voted for Paul Giamatti before watching The Holdovers. But there are some of these that I really didn't want to vote for because I don't like this category personally. And I hadn't seen almost all of these, and there was no way I was voting for Saltburn, so there you go. Okay, worst film. 65, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, The Exorcist Believer, Haunted Mansion, and Pet Sematary Bloodlines. I have not seen Pet Sematary Bloodlines. I've heard nothing but bad things about it. I have seen all the rest. 65 was a disappointment. The Exorcist Believer was bad till about halfway through, or whenever the lady from the first Exorcist showed back up. I didn't mind Haunted Mansion. It was okay. So out of all of these ones that are available here, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is probably, to me, the worst. There were parts of it that I enjoyed, but there was just too much that I didn't care for. I remember that when my son and I went to see it, we did an out of the theater or after the movie reaction, and we described it as stale, and that's probably putting it mildly and kindly. Okay, next category, Best Picture. All of Us Strangers, Barbie, Godzilla Minus One, The Holdovers, The Iron Claw, May December, Oppenheimer, Saltburn, there's a lot, Society of the Snow, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man ended up in my top 10, Godzilla Minus One ended up in my top 10, and Society of the Snow ended up in my top 10. Out of all of those three that I've seen, The Holdovers, it's really close. I really did like The Holdovers, but I'm going to stick with my initial vote, which was for Society of the Snow. In my top 10 list, Society of the Snow came in the highest on the list, so I felt like it was best to just go ahead and keep it at that. Even after seeing The Holdovers, and as much as I like The Holdovers, I don't think that would be enough to change the ranking that I would want to give to Society of the Snow. So that is all of the categories for the 3rd annual Rubber Duckies. I'm going to leave a link in the description and maybe in a pinned comment. You guys, please go vote. As lovers of film, we often complain about the fact that our voices generally aren't heard when it comes to awards for different movies that we see throughout the year. And this is a cool little idea that the Cinema Squad has come up with, where movie lovers on YouTube can come together and commemorate and talk about the different films that they have enjoyed and cast our votes and have our voices heard. And so it would be absolutely amazing if you guys would go and cast your vote, even if you don't plan to watch the live stream when it happens, but hopefully you will, because it's really fun just to watch and see the conversation that goes on as the awards are being presented. It's really fun to watch also the different presenters who have their little videos. Some of them are super creative, like Lisa Loves is really good. Mike from Did You See That is really good. D Movie Man is really good. I'm very boring and I'm stale as well. I don't really do much except church announce because I'm not creative enough and I'm not a good actor, so I can't do these little skits or whatever. Here it is. I think the most creative thing I did for the one that I presented last year was have a little Terminator theme song whenever I was getting ready to announce who the winner was. But yeah, go vote for your favorites in these different categories. And hopefully if you have the time on Sunday, February 25th, you'll show up and join us in the chat. We'll just be sharing our love and appreciation for film. It's been such a fantastic experience to get to know the people at the Cinema Squad. Have a lot of very similar feelings about different movies that some of them do. Also, on the flip side, there's some that I like that they don't, some that they like that I don't, but whatever, it's all good. We can all get along about it. It's no big deal. I love those guys over there. So I was more than happy to participate in this event again, and I hope that I can for many years to come, and I hope that this tradition will continue throughout the years, and our little group of movie lovers on YouTube will continue to get together and talk about these things, which, you know, if you're a fellow lover of film, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You love to just talk about these stories, and that's one of the reasons I love this platform. Despite the issues that I have with YouTube so much, I love the fact that I have been able to get together with people who love movies as much as I do and be able to talk about it. Because sometimes it's like you see a movie and you just want to talk. You just want to talk to people, and you don't always have that ability. I don't, because I don't have anybody here that I hang out with and go to see films with. I go by my lonesome, and I look forward very much to being able to come back here and sit down and talk about it with you guys. And it's been a lot of fun and nothing but a joy, and I'm very happy that I've been able to continue doing this, that I have the actual continued love and motivation to keep doing this. And that has been in large part because of how interactive all of you guys have been with all of us on YouTube about something that every one of us appreciates and enjoys. And sorry for that little mini, I don't know what the heck that was, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I do want to get this video uploaded this week to encourage you guys to go vote. So that's it for now. And I've got a doggy that wants to get up in my lap, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. See you later, guys. Bye.